The Sisters Grimm podcast is intended for mature audiences only. Please listen at your own discretion. Tiptoe through the window.
The blackest eyes, the devil's eyes.
If it doesn't fit, you must acquit.
The most notorious serial killer in the nation, the Night Stalker.
The Boston Strangler.
The Son of Sam. The infamous Zodiac Killer.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Hi, I'm Chucky. Wanna play?
Get away from her, you bitch!
Welcome to the Sisters Grimm podcast.
How'd you do this? I'll show you.
Welcome, everyone, to the Sisters Grimm podcast.
First episode of 2020.
Yep, this is Holly.
And this is Morgan.
And Morgan's a little sick.
Yeah, I'm always sick now, apparently.
Yeah, Morgan's just sick forever, I guess. So, what we wanted to do... Because now it is a new decade.
It is! Sorry.
There was a whole... You're like the little kids. Like, it's like the call and response from Dora the Explorer.
Right.
We were going to go through the 2010s, which sounds so...
The 10s.
Clunky. The 10s.
It does sound clunky.
It sounds very... It doesn't have, like, the ring of the 20s. Y'all, it's the 20s
it's
again.
The 20s.
And,
So we decided that we are going to go year by year of the last decade and say our favorite movies from those years. And then we're going to put a poll on Facebook and let you guys choose which you think is the best of our two options.
yeah, I think... we'll see.
Maybe we'll do that.
Well, I think you'll have to either agree with me or with Morgan.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And then we're also going to have some honorable mentions because Too Many Good Years came out.
Man, so many good years.
I'm on cough medicine.
I'm going to be like, you know what year was not a good year to come out? Was 2016 was kind of a bleh.
I don't agree with that.
Well, not movie-wise. I meant life-wise.
Oh, totally.
So, how about, would you like to start, my dear sister?
Sure. So, 2010. First of all, I would like to start this off by saying that
2010 feels like it's a million years ago.
the 10s were primarily dominated horror-wise by the Paranormal Activity movies.
Yeah.
The Annabelle, Conjuring, all of those movies. And then also...
Sharknado's being shoved down our throats.
Oh, yeah, that too.
I guess they'd be called the teens, but, like, I wouldn't think of it.
There was another one that, like, there was a shit ton of, but now I can't really think of it. Oh, well.
So, what was your
So,
number?
for 2010, I have, speaking of that, Insidious.
Nice.
Insidious is such a groundbreaking movie, I will say, because it definitely continued like being a thing after that, but it was one of the first horror movies where the person themselves was haunted, not the house.
Yeah, but like it's so crazy like what spun off from
it created like a monster.
I just had like a weird like remembered like how I remember seeing Insidious in theaters, and that was a long time ago. I feel
2010, dude. I was still in high school.
I know, which is crazy.
It was made by James Wan and Lee Winnell, who also made Saw. If you've not listened to our Saw episode, I recommend doing so because it fucking slaps.
It slaps. I remember being also Insidious, obviously we like, because we like the Tiptoe Through the Tulips song. Because that part of the movie, I remember seeing that movie in theaters and genuinely being like, what the fuck?
I wasn't old enough to see that movie in theaters when it came out.
Oh my god, you weren't.
I mean, I basically was. But
if you went with a mommy or daddy.
I probably went with you. Holly used to take me into R-rated movies when I was younger.
Well, yeah.
You were real for that.
That was fun to do. I remember seeing, like, some cool ones.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, Insidious, it was, like, a jumping point for literally...
For horror.
Like, but, like, so many...
Haunting
different
movies.
Yeah, and so many different little franchises.
Yeah, a lot came from it.
Patrick Wilson did pretty well.
Oh, he's
off
so
of that.
fucking hot.
He
Patrick
did
Wilson is
really
so hot, and Rose Byrne is fucking great. She's hilarious, but also like mostly had done comedy, and to see her in Insidious was really cool, and she did a really great job.
Yeah, you guys, it's like really, really fulfilling to like see like, you know, comedy actors in a dramatic role. It just feels really
remember
good.
the movie
I'm just kidding. I sound like such a douchebag.
It feels really good.
It just feels good, you know? Like, they're versatile. They know how to be scared.
Also, Lynn Shay plays it. I can't talk.
It's cool. Have
she
you heard me
is
talk?
basically like the ghost hunter or like exorcist in that movie. She also is known because she was in the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
Hell yeah.
She plays her teacher when she like has that scene where she like falls asleep in class.
She does.
Fucking great movie, man.
Yeah, that part of the movie, that movie was terrifying. The lipstick face.
Oh my gosh, Darth Maul, basically.
Darth Maul, basically.
But for me, the old lady bitch, she was horrifying. Like at the very first scene when it like goes to like the back door and it's just like her face. Like, no thanks.
Yeah, for some reason that doesn't scare me.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So let's go to your movie.
My movie is a Serbian film.
Of course it is. Shit, that came out that long ago? 10 years ago.
Yeah, man, I remember like
Just shut up.
No, obviously I'm not going to go into great detail about it.
Because we've already done that in this
like,
fucking podcast. Again, if you haven't
literally
listened to
2
our
episodes,
gory
I think
episode.
I talk about it like at least like in one episode I definitely go into pretty deep detail. But
no, like the deepest.
like the first cut is
like OMG. I don't know.
So I don't need to go in. But I mean, like if for whatever reason this is the first episode of ours that you decided to listen to, a Serbian film is a movie that comes from Serbia.
It's really fucked up.
And it's really fucked up. It's about a washed-up porn star, and just use your imagination as to what kind of fuck-upperies could become of that.
It's very, like, a turn at every corner kind of thing.
And I swear to God, you guys, that this decade, I will get Morgan Freeberg to watch a Serbian film.
I'm, like, good.
What will it take? What would it take for me to get you to watch a Serbian film, honestly?
Let's see. I mean, if you paid me, I would do it.
Well, no, like, well, and no, let's have, like, non-monetary things aside.
Okay,
But some money, basically, is all you're saying, though.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that would get you to watch it?
Yeah.
I mean, I literally, I don't know what else I could do, like, make you a fucking cake
or like,
something.
I don't know, if you were like, hey, you can meet the Jonas Brothers.
Oh my God, I would not be able to keep that to my... Shut up. I use the Jonas Brothers as a pawn in my sick game to get you to watch that Serbian film. Oh, man. Well, I'll go second, just because I don't have a lot to say for my first one.
Wait, shouldn't then I go?
Wait. Well, yeah.
Aren't we, like, pitter-pattering off each other?
You're right, we should pitter-patter. So,
okay, so
what's your
let's
next
go
one, then?
into notable movies of 2010, though, that
weren't
the ones that we said. I will say 2010 also was a big year for remakes. The Nightmare on Elm Street remake came out. The I Spit on Your Grave remake came out.
The 2010s, I'm not saying that before them were too, but before many remakes.
Because 2009 is when the Friday the 13th remake came out. So it was just that time period. Also, a movie that I really love that maybe is a little more obscure that a lot of people might have not heard of. It's called Mother's Day. It's directed by Darren Lynn Bousman, who did a couple of the Saw movies. And if you've never seen that movie, it's really good.
And I'm pretty sure it's like on almost all streaming.
Is it really?
I see it a lot.
I have a signed copy of it because I met him.
Wow.
Whoa!
I'll try to, maybe if I remember, put links in the description of this podcast if you want to go back and watch any of these fine films. Or, you can be like me and go on Amazon and buy the creepy-ass director's cut of a Serbian film.
Or you don't do that. Okay, so now we are moving on to 2011. This was a great year. It was the year I graduated from college.
You mean high school?
Yes. It was also the year I started college. Wait, no, that's not. No, wait, yes, it was. So both things happened.
That's usually,
Yeah. Cool. So for 2011...
And Morgan went to film school,
I
so
did.
that's cool.
So it was really, really, really hard, actually, for me to pick my 2011 because there's two movies that, to me, are fantastic. And actually, I might be switching now from what I actually have on my list.
Huh.
I think I'm gonna, but I'm gonna mention them both because they're both important. So number absolute freaking one was Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods.
Such a good movie. Literally one of the best horror movies that came out in the 2010s.
Oh, I totally agree.
Like, at least one of the most original ones that came out. Even though it's taking from so many other horror movies, like, the idea of it and the way it was made is so unique.
That's why I didn't choose that one, because I knew that you probably would.
Mm-hmm. Joss Whedon, Joss Whedon, who is famous for Buffy, and also Drew Goddard made this movie, and they locked themselves, I think, in a cabin for like a weekend and wrote this whole movie. And they wrote it like they wrote it in parts. Like one of them wrote like the scenes like in the headquarters, and one of them wrote all the scenes with the people. Like in the cabin.
That's really cool.
And then they put it together. Yeah.
That is good, because those should seem separate from one another.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Bradley Whitford's little ass is going to come up a lot in this list.
I love Bradley Whitford.
I love a little Bradley in my life.
But also, and like, this is more than an honorable mention, so I'm also just going to say it now, Scream 4.
Yeah. I saw that when I was there, and like, it's like, okay.
And, like, some people, maybe that wasn't, like, their favorite of the Scream franchise, but, like, another fucking Scream movie came out, and for me to be able to actually go and see it in theaters was huge.
Yeah, that's pretty tantamount. I understand that. That's how I felt. I think I've talked about it before with Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. It never happened.
And I think it was Wes Craven's last movie, so...
So that's a pretty big deal, too. Also, that's crazy that it's been 9 years. It's been 9 years since we had a Scream movie.
And we're probably not going to get another one since Wes passed away. However, the other day, Kirby, a.k.a. Hayden Panettiere, posted a photo of her chopping her hair really short again, and she said, like...
Surprise, bitch. No,
basically.
that's not even the right...
But yeah.
I don't know.
What was your...
Mine.
2011.
So I realized mine are a lot of foreign films, actually. So my 2011 is a movie called The Skin I Live In. Mm-hmm. It's very creepy. It has Antonio Banderas.
Ooh.
He's a really hot plastic surgeon. Ooh. His wife dies in a car accident from complications of burns, so not exactly the accident itself.
Is this that movie with the girl who's all wrapped up and fucking scary looking?
Yeah, because he's trying to make this new synthetic skin that will be burn resistant. And so people, won't, like what happened to his wife. Mm-hmm. The movie is, like, told so perfectly. So I don't really want to say anything because I didn't go into it. I also didn't see it the year it came out, but I will say that when I did see it, I did not know a lot about it going into it, and I liked that a lot, and I'm not just doing it as a cop-out to not have written notes, but
I was going to say also, we shouldn't give too much away, because a lot of these movies, maybe some of you have not seen, and now we'll go watch after listening to
I
this.
highly suggest going to seeing, I don't know if you go and see it. Go, like, to your friend Jake's house.
Yeah.
No, see The Skin I Live In, because just the way the story is told, just, oh my god. It's the twist, it was really, like, I almost passed out. It was so icky. Yeah, it gave me that, like, weird...
Yuckies?
Yeah, so it was, like, yucky, but I loved it.
Do you have any honorable mentions?
For 2011, I don't, honestly. What do you got on
I
there?
have You're Next.
Oh, yeah, I
liked
liked...
that movie.
I thought that wasn't bad.
No. I mean, it wasn't one of my faves, but it was cool. I know a lot of people really liked it, because it's very, like, Final Girl and, like, shit.
Yeah.
Also, Fight Me If You Feel Differently. Grave Encounters came out in 2011. While it's absolutely fucking ludicrous, it's a fucking fun ride. So if you've never seen it, I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix. And it's fucking crazy, so watch it.
Dude, you don't have to defend your favorite.
Girl, I'm gonna, though.
But, like, because there's one of mine, I don't want to have to defend it, because it's probably actually not a lot of people's favorite. But, like, whatever, you know?
All right,
so
we're moving on to 2012, the year we all thought we were gonna die.
I was just gonna say that. Remember when we all thought we were gonna die? Okay, so let's do the honorable mention
Mayans.
up on top. The movie 2012.
Which we watched recently because I had never seen it. It's apparently Maria's favorite movie of all time.
Yeah, she got so excited to watch that movie. But, yeah, disaster movies... I don't know if we talked about this in the last episode, but, like, disaster movies are...
so fun to watch with your friends.
They're not as scary when you're old. Because you look at it and you're like, well, that would never happen.
Yeah.
Ever. What are the odds of John Cusack being able to, like, take off a plane, like, while the runway is literally... Or no, that was like the
well, he wasn't the one actually flying it, but yeah, no. So much of that stuff
only he had a
like...
rudimentary understanding of how to fly a plane. So yeah, 2012. It was like a big year. The fact that we all thought we were gonna die.
So
What's your movie, Morgan?
2012. The movie I chose was The Collector.
I saw that on there, and that is a good movie. It's like Home Alone.
Again, like, very unique, I feel like.
Yeah, I thought so when I first saw it.
And also, like, really... oh, wait, just kidding. I'm sorry. The Collection came out in 2012. The Collector came out in 2009. But The Collection was also really fucked up.
Oh, okay.
So The Collector takes place in, like, a home. The Collection takes place in his, like, warehouse of murder.
Yes.
And the opening scene of The Collection, like, if you've not seen it, I don't want to ruin it, but if you have,
that's
the
a good
scene
opener.
In the club, when, like, everything just fucking goes batshit, like, fuck.
It kind of reminded me of the movie Saw.
It has elements of that. That one more so, because it's, like, a lot of traps, but it's crazy.
It is crazy.
And the mask and everything that they chose for the killer is really fucking creepy.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like a burlap sack kind of thing.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. So my 2012 movie is VHS.
Oh,
because
that was on my honorable mentions for sure.
Oh, nice. Just because it started off. I mean, I did not start it off.
It was
but
cool
because
it was
good
an
anthology. And I remember watching it and being really, 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 really freaked out by it. I don't think we need to say anything else about it.
I mean, I will just say
we've talked about it before.
The very first, like,
installment,
I guess, anthology. The very first one is the creepiest.
The first movie,
like, almost where they. Well, no, the first part of it. Like,
the first installment. I don't know.
They should have made that one the last one.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would have been a good closer.
Agreed.
Okay, let's get on to 2013.
Honorable mentions for 2012.
Oh, right. I keep forgetting because I
don't have any.
Well, I do coming up.
I just have Sinister, and then I had VHS.
Sinister was scary.
Sinister's fucked up.
Yeah, it was a foundy footage with Ethan Hawke.
There's a lot of found footage in the 2010s.
There are. Okay, so go ahead, Morgan, with your 13.
For 2013, I have none other than The Conjuring.
Ah, you love The Conjuring.
I love The Conjuring. I think The Conjuring is such a good fucking movie. It scared the living shit out of me the first time I saw it. It still scares me when I watch it now. I just really like it. Also, we get Vera Farmiga and...
Is it... yeah.
What's his name again?
Oh,
I can never think of his name.
Patrick
Wilson, a.k.a. Yummy.
That's why I said these movies are like ding-a-ding-ding-dong.
And that one's based off of the real, like, stories of, what is their name?
Lorraine something.
Yeah, the Warrens. Lorraine and Bob?
Edward? I don't know.
Let me look it up.
Look it up, Morgan. Look it up. Look it up,
Ed and
Morgan.
Lorraine Warren.
Look it up. So you're right. It was Ed. Or I was right. Or wait.
Did you say Ed? I think I said Bob.
You said Bob. Who knows? Well,
we
have the ability to go back and listen, but who gives a fuck?
But again, like, that movie then spawned so many movies, too.
Yeah,
Actually, maybe more than Insidious.
Oof, Madrone. Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, no. I mean, The Conjuring... Oh, I think I always
Because it
consider
spawned Annabelle.
The Conjuring...
It also spawned... Well, technically Conjuring 2 spawned The Nun.
Yep, you're right, Morgan. I put all those movies in the same spot, including Sinister, because they're kind of all filmed the same way. Mm-hmm. In the same Insidious, Sinister, Conjuring kind of way. So, my 2013 horror movie is called Bad Milo! ! It has Ken Marino in it, and Camille Nanjiani, and it has Gillian Jacobs.
Wait,
and
Camille
Nanjiani?
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, it's made by the Duplass brothers. They're all comedy homies.
What's it called again?
Bad Milo! !
Okay.
It's really, really funny. It's a movie. It has a lot to do with gut health and stress, and so I feel like it really spoke to me.
Gut health?
Yeah.
Were they all taking probiotics and fucking drinking kombucha?
No, that is not it. The main character, Ken, plays... is like super, super stressed out, and his stomach is always making that like I'm about to poop noise.
Love it.
And so he's so stressed out, and basically his stress manifests itself into a demon that like has grown inside of his butt.
Whoa.
And so then eventually it gets
This is your favorite
so
movie?
big of 2013. Yeah.
Okay.
It's really good. I like when things come out of people's butts. I don't know why you don't. And so it goes and does his bidding for him. Well, not his bidding.
His butt
rather.
demon.
Yeah, his butt demon goes and like kills people that like he gets really stressed out at.
Oh, I wish I had a butt demon to kill people for me.
Yeah, and like it's pretty. Also, so you can watch this movie on Tubi TV, which has ads, and all of the ads that came up for it were for Pepto-Bismol.
Interesting, but
Because he has...
on point.
He is, like, exclusively diarrhea. And when I was watching with the closed captioning on, and it just kept saying, toilet sounds. And I was like, oh, you can just say poop.
And who plays the main character?
Ken Marino. He was on Children's Hospital. You would know. He has a very distinct face. Mm-hmm. And Milo is like... He kind of looks like one of those pop Funko heads.
Okay, so a huge head, little body.
Yeah. Not something you want up your butt. He looks a little bit like the baby
dinosaur. So the butt demon has a name.
Oh, the butt demon is like the whole... like. In order to get the butt demon to go away, he has to learn to love the butt demon. Okay. Yeah. It's good, is what I'm trying to say. So, yeah, it might not be for everyone. It's a little gross, but, like, I think it's really cute.
Honorable mentions for 2013. The remake of Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Because, like, that movie was fucking great.
Yeah, that movie was great.
If I didn't love The Conjuring so much, that would be my number one.
Yeah, you are very horny.
I'm horny for The Conjuring.
And Insidious 2 came out that year.
Yep.
And, let's see.
VHS 2 also came out that year. So did the original Purge. Oculus also came out. Green Inferno came out. So 2013 was actually a pretty good year for horror.
It was. Green Inferno... Obviously, not everybody's favorite.
No, but like if you love Eli Roth, which we both do, then you can get a little. Get a feel from it.
I was gonna put that one on there, but I've already talked about it. I feel like, and also, I really liked Bad Milo.
Sounds like.
But also another good movie that came out that year is called The Sacrament, but it's literally just Jonestown.
Oh,
like it's basically Jonestown. So let's move on
to 2014. I've talked about this movie so many times on the podcast because I just love it. It is As Above, So Below.
Of course.
Another found footage, but a found footage that, in my opinion, is done really well. It's creepy. I'll watch anything that takes place in Paris.
Really, Morgan?
I like bones.
You like bones. You're like a French little dog.
I'm a French dog.
Are you a French bulldog, Morgan?
Mm-hmm.
You just take off your mask and you're a French bulldog?
I wish.
Shut up.
But I've talked about this movie enough. Like, I don't need to talk about it anymore. It's on Netflix. Fucking watch it if you haven't.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It slaps.
Morgan, you also forgot to mention that you love Catacombs.
I do. Mm-hmm. So bad.
Morgan gets
I also
so
like
wet.
small spaces and feeling
Ew.
uncomfy.
Morgan is like the opposite of claustrophobic.
Mm-hmm.
She has claustrophonia, which is like you're sexy about it, I think.
No, that would mean that I also don't like it.
Phonia? Yeah, you're right.
Misophonia means like you hate sound, so I'm guessing.
So it would be, who fucking cares?
I think phobia means you're scared. Phonia means like you just don't, you hate
You
it.
hate it, but then what is it? I know what it is, but it's philia. Duh. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm philia for that shit.
You're feeling it?
I am feeling it, Mr. Krabs.
So, my winner is Creep. No, not the song.
I knew you were going to
Creep
say that.
By, no, not the song Creep by,
TLC?
yep, nor the song Creep by Radiohead.
Mm-hmm.
But the one, it was a Netflix. It came out on Netflix first, and it also came out in theaters
It was a Netflix original, but it came out in theaters?
as well.
What?
Some of them do that.
Interesting.
Yeah. We would have to get into like the inner workings of like Netflix contracts and shit, which that's boring.
That sounds boring.
But I think I've talked about it before. It's like pretty creepy. There's this dude. He gets a job. This guy wants to have his son documented because he's dying of cancer, and he wants the video for his son. And things just keep getting weirder and weirder.
Mm-hmm.
Like Mark Duplass's character is already just kind like. When you first meet him, he's just one of those guys where you're like, okay, he's just one of those guys. But then he, like, turns into one of those guys.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah. And I also kind of wanted to talk about the movie Tusk, just because I felt like that was such a crazy movie. It basically is just a metaphor for rich people should not be given, like, it's not a good combination to be cuckoo bananas living by yourself on an island. It's very like Island of Dr. Moreau, because it's like
The Mad Doctor.
well, and like morphing them with an animal. Mm-hmm. It's just so gross.
And like, how dare you turn yummy Justin Long into something yucky?
Yeah, literally the last 2 acts of the movie are just him going, oh.
And no one wants that.
No, it was so disgusting. I like put my head in my sweatshirt and plugged my ears because I could not hear that
I have
sound.
not watched it because you told me how gross it was.
Yeah, I won't. I mean, it's like good. Like there's a really good like any movie where like the crazy person like
well, it's made by
Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith, yeah.
And Johnny Depp is in it.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he is. I don't know if he's uncredited. His daughter is in it too.
Oh, cute. I like her.
Yeah, I think I've talked about the movie and like how it's like this podcast that Justin Long and Haley Joel Osment have, and they're going up to talk to this guy, and then they're the dudes are kind of pieces of shit, the ones who like run the podcast. So it's kind of like you don't really care that it happens to this dude, but it was somebody got the idea for it. I can't remember his name. I always want to call him Michael Moore, but he got the idea because he saw like a classified ad that said like someone come to my like house in the middle of nowhere and do this weird thing for me.
Gross.
Yeah, so that's pretty scary.
I will say the 2010s, like Netflix ruled the 2010s.
Well, that's also kind of when it became like a big major thing.
I know, right?
Stop. Like I don't know what year. Let's go on to 20. Did you have any other actually
honorable mentions for
honorable mentions?
2014? I loved Annabelle. It wasn't like my top, but I thought it was a really fun ride. Unfriended, hands down, one of my fucking favorites of the year. I also really liked The Taking of Deborah Logan, which I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but the ending, y'all, what the fuck, dude?
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Her mouth get big.
Ruining it.
I know, but I don't like when people's mouths get big. I also want to say, just really quick, that we had our friend Maria look at our lists before we did it so that we wouldn't have any. And she's
Overlap,
like, I'm like, there's none at all. And she's like, no, these lists are very clearly Holly and Morgan.
Yeah.
And now listen, now you hear yours, it's very...
Agreed, right back at ya.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So now we're moving on to 2015.
Yes, Morgan, we are.
So for 2015, I chose It Follows.
That movie is very scary, and I like that you don't really know what time period it takes. Because it's very 70s, yet her sister is like a weird seashell phone.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that looked so cool. It's
just fucking scary.
It's very scary.
Technically, I guess it came out in 2014 because that's when it went to all of like the film festivals, but it didn't have its theatrical release until 2015.
Yeah, there's been a couple stops already during this podcast, y'all, because...
Yeah, because we've realized that we didn't realize the theater was right.
You know, sometimes things come out at film festivals, like it comes out...
Sometimes IMDb got it wrong.
Yeah, sometimes you're at the dance, and it just, like, you forget...
The dance?
Yeah, Sundance.
Oh.
So, but we clarified.
It Follows is cool because it's also, like, a look at... I think it's supposed to kind of be telling of, like, STDs.
A little.
Because it's like she gets the worst STD ever.
Kind of. I mean, she gets the most public one. At least the other ones you can deal with in private.
Yeah.
But hers is definitely
So I feel like we can say kind of what it's about because you literally find it out in the first, like, 15 minutes of the movie.
But... people haven't seen the first 15 minutes.
So basically, like, if you got this curse and you fuck somebody, you give that to the person you fucked.
It's like The Ring, but fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, instead of a videotape, it was just fucking.
Just straight up fornication.
And
like, that scene, that, like, the cover of the movie is just super iconic.
It is. The girl sitting in the chair, I love it.
If you've never realized it, the cover for the first season of Riverdale completely rips off of it.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah, like 1,000%.
So my winner for the year 2015 is The Vitch, which I found out that they called it that because the letter W wasn't, like, used a bunch, like in the 1700s where this took place. Well, like, it's weird because I've been doing all this ancestry stuff, and, like, words and names are spelled differently. Like, there was the name David, but it was literally spelled, like, phonetically. It's spelled DAYFID. Because, and it's like, hey, ma'am, why don't you just use a V?
But then, like, biblical was written correctly.
Biblically? Well, yeah, because they came back and, like, translated it for us, you silly goose. Do you think that came out in English first edition?
I don't know much about religion.
And that's totally fine. So, The Witch, I thought was scary, mostly because of Black Phillip, the scariest goat in the world, and now we know he lives in Door County.
Oh my gosh.
I love Black Phillip now.
Me too.
I live for Black Phillip.
Ooh, Black Phillip.
Bam, balam, balam, Black Phillip. So, my honorable mention is The Invitation. Oh my god. I can't even talk. The Invitation. It has Trey from the OC in it, and he is going with his new girlfriend to his ex-girlfriend's house, and things get a little culty.
Ooh.
Yes. Do you have honorable mentions? Because I had...
Honestly, my only one was The Witch.
I have The Devil's Candy. That has Ethan Embry in it. Also, I think the one I just said does, too. No,
Big year for Ethan Embry.
I got Ethan Embry confused with the brother from the OC, who's been in so much other things, but I always call him the
Trey?
brother from the OC. The Visit also came out that year. That was pretty fucked up. This movie called Southbound, which is also anthology, came out that year.
The Goosebump movie came out that year. The Gallows movie, I tried watching that. It was so bad. They made it seem like it was going to be okay. It was bad.
And then this other really good movie, which it was gonna also be on my list, but then I went with The Witch instead. But it's Baskin. I may have also talked about it before, but it's Turkish.
I don't think so.
And it's really creepy. I think I may have it on my like favorite movies in like the first episode, but
cool.
I also could be super wrong because that was a long ass time ago.
I don't think you
But
did. Does not ring a
Baskin,
bell.
it's
I can only think of
basically-
Baskin Robbins.
Aw, that's cute. In Bad Milo, the character's name is Duncan, and his wife, as a nickname, calls him Donuts.
Aww.
So yeah, that was that year. So let's go on to 2016.
2016.
Year everything changed.
Again, going with the theme of Netflix, I chose the movie Hush.
I think you pronounced it wrong.
Hush!
Yeah, you have to do it in the John Mulaney joke voice.
So Hush was just such a slapperoonie. It literally came out of fucking nowhere, which is like what happens with most Netflix movies because typically they don't have trailers unless it's like a season of a show that's already come out. And so
I wouldn't know.
I remember I was
cable.
at one of my friend's house. We were smoking a lot of weed, and we were like, ooh, what's this Hush movie? It looks weird. And I fell in love. That's also probably one of the first Mike Flanagan movies that I really, really liked. Because I'd seen Oculus, but I wasn't obsessed with it.
Yeah, the
Kate Siegel
was just like
is so fucking good in it. Also, honorable mention of just like horror television show. Obviously, Haunting of Hill House. Mike Flanagan also made that. Kate Siegel plays...
so she did both of those
Well,
things
she's
in
his wife.
2016.
No, Haunting of Hill House came out last year.
Right. What year is it?
But if you've not seen it, it's constantly streaming on Netflix because it is a Netflix original. I don't want to ruin anything because it's just very well paced, and I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but it's really
And I think
good.
you've talked about it before.
It's really well made.
Yeah. Some honorable mentions for me.
You haven't
personally.
said your actual one yet.
Well, I didn't. I wanted to hide the...
You wanted to bury the lead?
Wanted to bury the lead, apparently. So my winner is Train to Busan. And I'm sorry, Koreans, if I'm butchering the way you say that. But it is a Korean film. And it's probably the only zombie movie I like.
Nice.
Definitely the only modern zombie movie that I like. It's about a father and his younger daughter, and he never spends any time with her. Her parent, like, they're divorced, and they're going from Busan to Seoul. And while they're on the train, a zombie apocalypse happens, and it's just made so well, and there's just so much like you care so much about like the father and daughter's relationship, and there's a lot of character building with like in like the like a kind of core group of people stay together the whole movie, and so you like really care about them.
Love that.
And also, like, I don't want to ruin anything, and also it's just a zombie movie, so you probably understand a little bit how it plays out, but I will say that there was a new fold in the zombie characteristics, I guess you could say, that they had, and I was like, okay, I like this.
Love that.
So, yeah,
For
it was
you.
an amazing movie, I thought.
Also,
And
2016, a good year for horror.
it was, because also The Void came out.
Oh, yeah.
That movie was fucking...
Don't Breathe, which, if you haven't seen the end of that movie, all I'm going to say is semen.
Semen?
Have you not seen that movie?
Well, apparently not. If I don't...
Dude.
I just want to watch just the end now.
Oh. I would rewatch the whole movie.
Okay, so we're going to watch Don't Breathe after this?
Love that. Okay, cool. Also, Conjuring 2 came out, which I liked that one. That's where The Nun originated from. 10 Cloverfield Lane.
That was
fucking
good.
Split, which I guess you
Split.
could call a thriller, but it's M. Night Shyamalan's. I'm calling it a horror movie.
I mean, all of M. Night Shyamalan's are, like, right on that boardy.
Also, 31, Rob
Oh,
Zombie.
yes.
Were you having another thought about M. Shyamalan's?
I was having an M. Night Shyamalan. Well, I was just, like, thinking of his movies. Like,
M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong?
yeah, Shyamalan Ding Dong's movies. Because they're all kind of, I guess you could consider, like, thrillers. But they're also, I mean, they have horror aspects. Like, I consider, like, The Village, that's a horror movie.
The idea of the movie Split is horrifying. Like someone
Lady in the
literally
Water, not a horror.
punching your dad in the face
Yeah.
and stealing you and your friends.
And being a serial killer?
Yeah.
That's
And like James
horrifying.
McAvoy was fucking robbed. He should have fucking at least been nominated for an Oscar for that movie. I think it's stupid he wasn't. Moving on. I love James McAvoy.
MovingOn.org. I hope... Did you know that Bill Hader's up for... Or they're hoping Bill Hader gets up for an Oscar for his performance in It too. It was so good. The tone of your voice suggests otherwise.
I mean, it was good, but not Oscar nomination worthy. Sorry, I love you, Billy, but it wasn't. I think the kid who... I think Finn should have won an Oscar before him for his portrayal.
I think he should just win one from being a cool kid.
Love that.
Love it.
Finn. Oh, there's that new horror movie coming out with Finn that looks really fucking weird,
that looks
too.
like very creepy.
So
very
weird.
creepy. Also, this movie Trash Fire came out with Adrian Grenier and Beyond the Gates, which is really cool, and the movie Terrifier, which
really
is
good.
Oh god, like that's like the creepy clown guy who's like,
again Netflix. Stop.
Yeah, literally, if you have Netflix, you know who I'm talking about. Like the
Why
Terrifier.
Are you patting your lap?
I don't know, because it reminds me of the character, or
Does
not
he
the character.
make people sit on his
lap?
lap?
Reminds me. Well, he like sits up like this, and for some reason, I instinctually patted my lap for someone to come sit down on it. I don't know why. It was a character choice.
Okay, so 2017. By the way,
really
this
good year.
Really hard choice for me.
Probably
really, really, really hard.
This was probably
almost
the
harder than 2011.
Wow.
So,
yeah, this was definitely the hardest.
I honestly couldn't even choose.
So you didn't?
I mean, I have a straight up tie between Get Out and It.
That's so weird that you say that, because I also chose 2 movies for
Really?
this one because I couldn't narrow it down because I love both of them so much. So go with let's talk
Honestly,
about yours.
I don't think we really need to go super deep into either because they're both huge fucking phenomenons that
we've talked about Get Out so many times.
We've talked about it so many times.
Shout out Bradley Whitford. I told you he was going to be
Everyone
coming
knows.
back.
Get Out may single-handedly be... I know I said this about Cabin in the Woods, but Get Out may single-handedly be one of the best horror movies that came out this decade.
I think it is.
I think 100%. I think a lot of people would agree with that.
I think it was the best movie of the decade.
Yeah.
No doubt. No diggity. No doubt.
It's tied with you know what? Okay, Get Out beats It. It was so good, and I love Bill Skarsgård so much, but I think Get Out.
You think Get Out
surpasses
it? So, and we've talked about it before.
You guys fucking
my winner is The Babysitter. I think maybe we've talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, you
probably.
made me watch it.
I may. Here, listen how you said made me watch it. Not, I've seen it too.
It was fine.
Morgan didn't like it. It has bitch and Bella Thorne in it.
Yes, it does.
And I really like it because I really like the actress in it because she looks exactly like Margot Robbie. To the point that it's scary. Yes, she does.
Margot Robbie's so much.
They look
more
exactly
beautiful.
the same, Morgan.
They're similar, but there's big differences.
No.
Yeah.
They're identical.
That girl's
twins.
eyes are way bigger.
Margot Robbie's eyes are huge.
Not that big.
Whatever. Agree to disagree. It's about a babysitter, and she's babysitting this little boy who has a crush on her, and he's in high school and probably shouldn't have a babysitter.
Yeah, definitely a little too old to have a babysitter.
But whenever people make fun of him, he's like, yeah, but see how hot she is.
Right.
Also, Ken Marino is in that movie. He plays his dad. Mm-hmm. And because you didn't know who he was before. And I just love it. They play a Queen song in it at the end. It's just such a funny movie.
It's a fun ride. It's a fun movie to watch.
That as my list progressed, throughout, honestly, grew as what kind of horror movies I liked. Because in the beginning, I really liked gory, the most fucked up shit you can think of, and now I kind of prefer dark comedies. I like when they're really gory, but I like it so much more when they're also really, really, really funny. And this movie made me laugh a lot. And, had a lot of... I also like a lot of pop culture references. And so, also, my honorable... Well, no, it's not honorable mention. It's second favorite. It's called Dave Made a Maze. It has Nick... The person you'd recognize, maybe, is Nick Thune. He's an amazing comedian. And this dude... It literally starts out where this wife walks into her house... Or her apartment, rather... And it looks like her husband has made a little fort out of boxes, and he's like yelling at her not to come in, and he's like, and she's like, what the fuck is like wrong with you? And then she gets in there, and it's like all of this crazy, like, I truly don't know how to describe it, but it's a horror movie, and it's gory, but like, it's like he goes into his own mind and like creates like this labyrinth of like cardboard and mazes and like things that he has to go through, and like his friends get in there too, and they have to find a way to get out. It's really, really, really funny. It's on, I don't know what it's on right now, but I know I've seen it on Hulu, and I love it. It's a good movie. But yeah, no, some honorable mentions. Obviously, I had on my list that It was an honorable mention because it was it. And
Happy Death Day.
Happy Death Day, yes.
Jigsaw, which was not the worst, but not great.
No, it was no.
We forced ourselves to watch it because of the Saw episode.
Yeah. Yes. That's why. The Ritual came out. That movie is also fucking good. That one was also almost on my list.
That was a really cool one.
Gerald's Game.
Oh yeah.
The Endless. Better Watch Out. Just a lot of really, really fucking good horror movies came out the past, 3 years, actually. Because 2018 was also pretty fucking hard. I may have to do another 2017 situation.
Okay.
Where two movies I loved so much. But let's go with your 2018 movie first, Morgan.
Also would like to point out that 2017 was the year we started the podcast.
Aww. So that's why I didn't mention the Train to Busan, or whatever it's called. That wasn't listed on the zombie episode.
No.
Because it hadn't come out yet. So, on to 2018.
2018, maybe an unpopular opinion, said The Nun.
Wow, very unpopular.
I know. So it took me a while to actually see that movie because people really didn't like it. It did not do well. I thought it was great. It was creepy. You got some Thaisa Farmiga.
She was in that?
Yeah, she's like the... Sorry, I hiccup. She's like the main person, but...
Interesting.
I really liked it. I thought it was done well. It was paced really well. It was really scary. I screamed several times.
Whoa. Well, that's how you know a movie's scary.
Yeah.
So, my favorites for 2018 were The House That Jack Built, which has Matt Dillon in it, and he's a serial killer. It's pretty fucking brutal. It was made by Lars von Trier.
Oh, then it was probably really fucking brutal.
Oh, it literally, people walked out.
Damn.
It was also Lars's first movie at
Do you actually like
festival.
These movies, or are you just saying that you like them because they're fucked up?
I like that they're fucked up and they're good. Why?
Okay,
why?
I'm just asking.
Are you literally calling me out on the podcast right now?
Yeah.
Well, I will fight you on the podcast.
Would you rewatch any of these movies, and have you?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Fair.
So, I probably wouldn't watch Bad Milo again, but whatever. I didn't realize I was going to be under
a
trial.
Serbian film again?
I've seen a Serbian film, I'm sorry, several times.
Why?
It's good.
Okay, fair.
Okay. Zoinks. But, so yeah, because of the whole Lars von Trier thing, it's pretty messed up.
I believe it.
So, my second favorite...
What's a brief synopsis for
all
of us?
It's basically, Lars likes to do his movies kind of in chapters, and so this is in chapters. There's also, he's narrating it, and he's talking to this other guy who I'm pretty sure is Stellan Skarsgård.
Of course, because Lars loves Stellan.
Lars loves Stellan.
Swedish boys.
Well, they're both Scandinavian. Lars is
Dutch.
No, he's Danish, I believe. And it's basically just chapters, and he talks about. He's a serial killer, and so he just talks about certain kills, and so everyone is a kill, and then it gets to the end, and
sounds interesting.
It gets very, very weird. It is a very good movie, but there are parts that are very hard to watch.
Because they're weird or because they're gross?
Because it's gross.
Okay.
I don't want to give anything away, honestly, but like I'll tell you later.
Cool.
Because I know you probably won't see it.
Probably not.
But yeah, but it's. I mean, I just love Lars von Trier to begin with, and this movie, like, and him doing like kind of an actual horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Although, I mean, Antichrist is, I would consider that horror too.
Yeah, definitely.
But then my second would be Mom and Dad, which is Neve Campbell and Nicolas fucking Cage. It is so funny, that movie. It is about, so you kind of think a zombie breakout is happening, but actually all of the parents want to kill their kids. Something is in the air that makes all of the parents want to kill their kids.
Okay.
So imagine like a zombie breakout. So it's kind of like
It's like The Happening,
It's
but
like Us.
instead of killing yourself, you kill your children.
Exactly.
Whoa.
And it's really good. Obviously it's really funny because they're like being like, "Oh, mommy loves you so much," while like holding a
daddy kills you.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. It's got
It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. It has. I mean, just watch it, y'all. It's pretty cool. So some. Let's see. What are some honorable mentions? Because some really good shit came out in 2018.
Hereditary.
Yeah,
I would never say that was one of my favorite movies because it wasn't.
It was pretty yucky.
Mm-hmm. I remember when I told my boss that I watched that, he was like, "Oh, I just rewatched that recently," and I said, "Why? Why would you rewatch that movie?" All I'm going to say is,
"Ew, that's rude." First of all, to make that harrowing
but
noise.
if you know, then you fucking know.
And second of all, why do you come so hard for people for liking messed up movies?
I don't get it.
I mean, it's just that I don't get people.
I say I don't get it while we have this podcast.
Yeah, no, I've been very, very, like, trying to be, like, diplomatic over here about how I don't like the, like, Conjuring, Insidious nun
you
movies.
do.
No, I've not seen any of them. I've seen Insidious.
You've not seen The Conjuring? Yes, you
I've
have.
seen Insidious and I've seen The Conjuring.
And you liked them both.
No, I didn't like The Conjuring. I thought it was boring and no one died.
Why do people have to die for it to be good?
I don't know, but I feel like I don't know. I didn't care for The Conjuring. I did like Insidious.
I think you liked it when it came out, and you're changing your
Well,
opinion now.
okay, but still, I would never see I would never be compelled in my life to go see any of the other ones. But I mean, like I said, people are allowed to have their own opinions on things. Some people like seeing really fucked up things more than once. I mean, you just close your eyes at that part.
Okay.
You know? Another awesome horror movie with Nicolas Cage that came out was Mandy. Also,
The Meg.
Yeah, that movie was fucking on a different level. We watched that on my birthday.
That shit was wild.
That was crazy. Also, Bird Box came out that year.
Oh yeah, Bird Box was great.
Speaking of Trey from the OC, Upgrade came out that year. Summer of '84, that has the little boy from The Babysitter in it. I guess he's not that little. And then the movie What Keeps You Alive, which is really good. So, let's go on to last year, 2019. Seems like it was only
yesterday.
9 days ago.
I picked Midsummer.
Nice. I didn't because I knew you would.
Really? You thought no matter what that's what I was going to pick?
I did.
There was a lot of good ones in 2019.
There were, but I knew that would be what you would pick.
Yeah,
and also,
it was
I
literally
don't
my
think
Halloween costume
And
this year.
honestly, I mean, now that we have different tastes. Sometimes we have similar tastes in horror movies, but for the most part, I feel like we don't.
We really don't.
We really don't.
Yeah, I like more probably traditional things that most people know, and you like obscure, really fucked up shit, which is cool.
Yeah, I like foreign, obscure.
But it's good that we have
fucked
two
up.
different opinions, because if we just all like the same shit, this podcast probably wouldn't be as interesting.
I know, which is why you shouldn't have come for me so hard about the Lars von Trier shit.
You're caring too much about that I came for you in general.
I think I was making a bit.
I think I was having an opinion.
Okay. So, yeah, Midsummer. Have we talked about Midsummer yet?
Not really, no, actually.
I don't think we have talked about
Midsummer.
Midsummer.
Is great. It's fucked up, but
Swedish
same
as hell.
director who made Hereditary. A lot of people were like, "Oh my god, it's so much more fucked up than Hereditary." I don't feel the same way.
I would agree with you.
I think it's a lot more beautiful because
God.
it takes place. At least I think it was actually filmed in Sweden. No,
No, I forget where it was.
wherever it was filmed, it's fucking gorge. All of the floral arrangements are just like so cute.
Yeah, they're just like blibbing and blobbing, and it's just really cool.
It's
and
just a mindfuck.
Also, we went to Door County after seeing this movie, and Door County is very Scandinavian, and like we kept seeing like midsummery things everywhere.
Yeah,
like everywhere, and I was like, shit.
Also, I love the actress.
Like
in it.
their maypole, yeah, I love her.
Who plays
like,
Danny?
Yeah, the maypole in it. Like I went home and I have like a little Swedish platter in front of my sink, and that maypole was on it, and I was like, what? So yeah, wait, where was this movie filmed? Yeah, it was filmed in Hungary.
Oh, cool.
Hungary, gorgeous.
But it also was filmed somewhat in Sweden too.
And Utah a little bit. Yeah, so I knew you would say Midsummer, and I would also agree that was probably one of my favorite horror movies of the year. But my absolute favorite horror movie of that year was the Banana Splits movie, because it was fucking cuckoo bananas. The Banana Splits was a Hanna-Barbera cartoon from the like 60s, and it is a movie wherein that still takes place, and this little boy is obsessed with it, and for his birthday they go to a taping of it, and everyone is like, oh my god, I don't understand why this kid likes it so much. It's honestly just really, like I said, my taste, I mean, to go from a Serbian film to the Banana Splits movie is kind of a huge leap. Like, it's very, like...
It's also very you.
It's slapstick. It's very weird. It kind of... I mean, I just think the idea of, like, people in animal costumes or, like, mechanized, like, things. Like, think of, like, the Country Bear Jamboree going haywire. And it's just so funny. And...
Is it gory?
The na-na-na, or tra-la-la, I'm sorry. It's so fucking gory.
Yeah.
And it was really funny because I asked Mom and Dad, I'm like, did you guys watch the Banana Splits when you were little? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, well, you will not like this movie I'm watching right now, because it is gross, because they get like possessed. And I would like to thank the Hanna-Barbera company for letting them take those kind of artistic liberties.
Right.
Because I don't know, are you going to see a Huckleberry Hound Dog movie like that? Probably not. I would love to see a horror movie version.
Chuck E. Cheese gone wrong.
That's kind of what it is. That's a little bit.
Like.
And or like a horror movie of Tom and Jerry. Mm-hmm. That would be spooktacular. So, what are some good... I
really liked the movie Crawl. I thought that one was really cool. I didn't love the ending, but I really liked how it was paced before that.
Y'all, I didn't like Crawl.
You liked it until the end.
I mean, it was okay. I liked the end. Well, I don't know. I don't like monster movies.
Oh, I do.
But I do like the Monster Mash.
Who doesn't, girl? Also, Us.
All right, duh. Us. Yeah. Us. Oh, I thought you were either going to say Us or Midsummer. And the movie Ready or Not, that also has the girl from The Babysitter, who I think looks like Margot Robbie. And also It Chapter 2.
Also Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, which was actually very really good. Yeah,
that was really good.
And Happy Death Day 2 was okay.
I like how this is
better
the best.
Than I thought.
This is the best of, and you keep being like, that movie was okay. It was like, whatever. So, by and large, it was a pretty good decade of horror movies.
I would say so.
I would say so. Definitely people trying out a lot of new things.
Which you have to do, otherwise it's going to get stagnant and not be fun.
You are so right, Morgan. That's been the Sisters Grimm podcast. Thanks for listening, and we will not, maybe next week? I don't know. We'll see.
We
Bye.
will see.